Mid-America Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible by
the Grand River Dam Authority and the Mid-America Industrial Park have worked together for over 50 years now to bring jobs and industry into this part of the state. There's a lot of great opportunity in the Mid-America Industrial Park, both at our facility and all the industries that are located there. High-paying tech jobs that we need, kids coming out of high school that have this computer knowledge today that we didn't have 25, 30 years ago. We can do the training right there in the park. There's a lot of good resources there in the park. They don't have to go the college path to get into the workforce and make really good money. It's really neat now to see this generational shift. We've got mom and dad out there now in a lot of cases, and now their kids are graduating from high schools in the area and they're looking for opportunities as well. The Grand River Dam Authority is really proud to help young people start their career and help build their lives.
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
The Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
and by viewers and members like you.
Today on Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake. He's been sailing his whole life. We'll introduce you to the commodore of the Grand Lake Sailing Club, which has been sailing across this lake since 1966. Plus, looking for a great place to stay at the lake? We'll check out Pine Lodge Resort and show you how they have something for everyone. And if you love catfish, then you must stop at Cosby's Catfish Restaurant. It's open and business is booming. All of these stories and more coming up next on Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake.
And this
is Living Grand.
And this is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand.
And this is Living Grand.
This is Living Grand on Grand Lake. Hello, I'm Christy Wallace. The Grand Lake Sailing Club has been around since 1966. Today, Steve and Angie Duff are the commodores of the club. Steve, an accomplished sailor, has been sailing since he was 16 years old. His first date with Angie was even on a sailboat. Today, the club is thriving. We talked to Steve about the club and what the future holds for the sailors of the Grand Lake Sailing Club.
Well, it's kind of a funny story. Our fathers actually set us up on our first date. Like, each kind of lied a little bit to us, and I was pretty irritated with my dad when I found out what they had done.
Angie had not sailed before. In fact, our first date was a sail, and I was kind of messing with her. It was a boat a little smaller than this one, but it wouldn't tip over, and I told her that they only tip over 50% of the time.
And I'd never been on a sailboat, so it was a little intimidating. The heeling, being that close to the water and the boat moving so much, and laughed fortunately when he said that, so I kind of got the idea that I was pretty safe.
We sailed, and I would say she was about hooked. I think she was hooked about that time.
The night I came home from our first date, I went in and told my dad I was home, and I forgave him because I had met the man I was going to marry, so it worked out pretty good.
Grand is just it's kind of hidden gem, I think, in Oklahoma. Beautiful lake, a lot of activity. It is a good sailing lake. You've got some large open areas and the breeze pretty much most of the time. A little bit of a challenge because of all the coves. You get wind, as you saw when we were sailing, comes from all different directions though.
it is just so peaceful. If you want it to be peaceful, you can just relax and just hear the water and just feel the boat rocking. And and if you want some adventure, you can definitely get some adventure.
Sailing isn't as complex as a lot of people think. I mean, if you get into heavier wind, if you get in heavy wind, if you get in real light wind, you have to have a certain amount of skill. The first thing that you would do is we would take them out and be able to help them get comfortable bringing the boat into dock and out of dock under motor. They do handle differently than a power boat does. You can get out on a sailboat and just have a good time. Just set the sails where there's wind in them, and it'll go. The Grand Lake Sailing Club is been around. It was first formed in 1966 by 10 individuals, 10 gentlemen. It was actually on the other side of Sailboat Bridge, and in 1972 is when we actually moved to the existing site of the sailing club, and that started with 10 people. Today we're up to about 120 families in it.
You can be as social as you want. There's activities where you can be involved, and there's some really fantastic people with the sailing club. Or if you want quiet time and you just want to go out and do your own thing, you can do that also. So I guess it just gives you opportunity, whatever you're needing or wanting, and it's a good way to learn from other people's experiences and just that friendship and camaraderie. It's kind of neat when you're in town, to meet a fellow sailor in a different role and know, that's one of us.
You can own a sailboat to be part of the sailing club. You can also, we have a fleet program where the sailing club actually owns the boats. You can join and just use those boats and not own one. We have all levels of sailors. We've got people that have never sailed before. We have individuals that have sailed, lived on a boat for 15 years out, in the coastal ocean area. It's just a wide variety of expertise. A lot of fun. To me, it is a passion. It is a release for me, for my job. This is my sanctuary. I have an amazing family, and they enjoy it too.
Just the family time. There's so much. You're so busy, and you're going and going and going. And when you're on the water, you tend to put the phones away. You tend to just relax and enjoy being together. Conversations that you wouldn't normally have. Just relaxing as a family is the thing that I enjoy the most. Just it gives you an opportunity to have some real quality time.
If you want to know more about the Grand Lake Sailing Club, you can go to their website, glsc.net. There you'll find their calendar of events and contact information. Look no further for your next getaway. We have the perfect option up next. Stay with us. You're watching Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake.
The Grand River Dam Authority and the Mid-American Industrial Park have worked together for over 50 years now to bring jobs and industry into this part of the state. There's a lot of great opportunity in the Mid-American Industrial Park, both at our facility and all the industries that are located there. High-paying tech jobs that we need, kids coming out of high school that have this computer knowledge today that we didn't have 25, 30 years ago. We can do the training right there in the park. There's a lot of good resources there in the park. They don't have to go the college path to get into the workforce and make really good money. It's really neat now to see this generational shift. We've got mom and dad out there now in a lot of cases, and now their kids are graduating from high schools in the area, and they're looking for opportunities as well. The Grand River Dam Authority is really proud to help young people start their career and help build their lives.
Hello, our safety tip for today is boating at night. Boating at night brings us many challenges that we don't face during the daytime. The number one thing that I want to talk about is being visible. We have a red and green light on the front of the boat, and we have a white light on the rear of the boat. The red and green lights on the front of our boat allows other boaters to to see which direction we're going and know how to navigate when they see us at night. The white light in the back, obviously they can see us if they're coming from the rear of the boat, but it also, if we have just a white light on the back of the boat, means that that boat is anchored, and that's a different aspect of how we need to face that situation. Another thing to remember is we have to keep those lights running. Keep spare bulbs in the boat, keep things to keep those going, like tools or spare bulbs. Nighttime navigation is a learning process, and we need to educate ourselves. One way we can do that is GRDA offers boating ed classes. They're required for the kids, but it's a great idea for the adults to come and get involved in that and learn things that we might have overlooked. That's our safety tip for today.
And now, time for the Grand Lake Chronicle events page. If you have a soft spot in your heart for animals of all shapes and sizes, then you'll want to attend the 5th annual Cars for Critters on July 30th in the Grove Civic Center. This indoor car show includes a 50-50 raffle, door prizes, food, music, and of course, some of the coolest cars in town. All proceeds benefit the Second Chance Pet Rescue of Grand Lake. To register your car or find more information about the event, visit doitforthepets.com. If you're a history buff or just curious about how a hydroelectric dam works, we've got good news for you. The Grand River Dam Authority is offering free tours of the dam now through Labor Day. Come to GRDA's Ecosystems and Education Center in Langley anytime between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. to learn about the dam that makes Grand Lake possible. Visit GRDA.com for more information. Well, that's it for now from the Grand Lake Chronicle events page.
What are you looking for in a resort? A cabin on the woods, lakeside accommodations, maybe it's a hot tub under the stars or a real fireplace? Well, at Pine Lodge, you can have it all. From their cabins nestled among the timbers to their lakeside homes, this resort is the perfect destination for your next trip to the lake. Art and June Box built the Pine Lodge Resort from the ground up. Literally, June designed the log cabins and Art built each one by hand. Let's take a look at this unique resort on Grand that features numerous amenities and owners who treat their guests like family.
You know, it's all about location, location, location. You know, you build it, they'll come if you're near water.
Well, we've been in the lodging business and a hotel business before, and so we always wanted to do a log cabin resort, so that's kind of what we started at.
I designed them, and Art and his helpers and our son built them. And so they've all had experience, and they really enjoyed putting it was different. It was something new for them. Well, we thought we'd just build a couple little log cabins for the people. We're next to Arrowhead Marina, so that's a popular destination for boaters. And we thought, well, you know, some of the boaters can't have nowhere to spend the night, so we'll just build a couple of cabins for them. And so the phone just started ringing off the hook. More and more people wanted lodging overnight. And so, okay, we'll build a third one, and then it just started growing from there, you know. And we didn't really have any grand scale plan. It just kind of happened accidentally.
Started about 14 years ago, and now then we have 10 log cabins. We have 18 mobile homes. We have 26 RV sites, and we also have a couple of big homes, large homes that sit right on the water that we lease out, because each one of those will sleep up to 10 people in each home. The cabins have, first off, they all have a wood-burning fireplace, and they have a little kitchenette in them, and you can sleep up to 4 people in a cabin, but every cabin's got a hot tub on the deck, and so people come, and we actually have people call us when it snows. And so it looks like the Colorado Rockies in here when it snows, you know. So people they'll come and fire up the fireplace and kick back in the hot tub and enjoy themselves.
We thought that way we could stay open through the winter time, you know, not just be for the summer guests that come through to the lake, tourists. But with the hot tub, you know, everyone has an anniversary, a birthday to celebrate, you know, honeymoons. So we're real popular for those type of things, and family reunions. We've been together a long time. I think 41 years, 42 years.
that we've been together. We just by a chance meeting, we actually grew up within about 5 or 6 miles of each other when we were children, and so we've been, June and I've been, we've been together about 41 or 42 years now. We're both very involved in it. And June, she checks the guests in, and me and my crew, we do all the maintenance and do the building construction on it.
We are just like a big, happy community here, but we have met more people just in this spot than we could have traveled the entire world and met. We've even had people from Germany come through, traveling on Route 66 and looking for lodging. And they want that American old-fashioned experience, so they're looking for a log cabin. Last week I had people from even Australia here on a family vacation. So we get them, you know, from all north, south, east, and west, kind of in a central location. Then when they get to see the lake and maybe get on a boat, rent a boat, or come with some friends that have a boat, they just fall in love with Grand Lake.
The reason that we actually chose Grand Lake was because of the activities that happen on Grand Lake. You know, at any given time, any weekend, there's always some fun event going on. And so that's our big reason that we chose Grand over. I actually grew up on 10 Killer Lake and she grew up on Fort Gibson Lake, but we chose Grand for that reason, because there's always some fun event going on.
At first I was very hesitant to move up here because it was away from family. But once we got up here, it was like, I'm not ever leaving. This is it. So that's what we hope our guests come here, get this old-fashioned, old-timey feeling. They relax and just have a good time.
So give Art and June a call or go to their website at pinelodgeresort.com and schedule your next getaway. Stay informed about all things on Grand by visiting Living Grand on Grand Lake online. Go to rsu.tv, click on the shows, and scroll down to Living Grand on Grand Lake. You can watch any of the shows from all 3 seasons. Stay with us. We have some good eats to tell you about next.
You two look happy? Is there anything else I can get for you? Okay.
Cherokee Casino and Hotel, West Siloam Springs. The feeling stays with you.
Since I was a kid, I'd always wanted to be in the Army, and I always wanted to join Special Operations. So I actually joined the Army as a plumber, fought and clawed my way up into Special Forces. It sounds weird, but I was blessed to go to war, one of the first into both Afghanistan and Iraq. You're recruited and trained and selected and mentored to be able to stand alone, and when you're injured, you just suck it up and drive on. You stay in the fight. And I never noticed any changes whatsoever in me. Then the doctors started looking at me, and they found traumatic brain injuries. I was suffering from migraines, and I'd suffered vision loss, and facing all those injuries, once they pointed them out to me, that was my biggest challenge. What's next? I disappeared on a hill in Oklahoma for 3 years trying to figure that out. We stood up the Foundation for Exceptional Warriors in 2012. We're outdoor based because that's where I found healing, and that's what I want to share. Anything a warrior wants to do, we'll try and facilitate it, because I want to see that healing. I want to see that reconnection with his family, that new spark in his life. I want to see that. For the hard times, the challenges that running a foundation present, the peace that touching a warrior's life gives me overrides all that. My name's Ronnie Swegger, and I'm honored to have served my country.
Whether you're a fried catfish connoisseur or just somebody who enjoys a home-cooked meal, you must visit Cosby's Catfish restaurant in Disney. It is quickly becoming a local favorite again. Sue and Ron Cosby first opened the restaurant in 1987. 16 years later, they closed it down to pursue a calling and began pastoring. Well, today they're back at it, and this time with their family by their sides to run this family-oriented restaurant. I can tell you from personal experience, their catfish is delicious, their tartar sauce is heavenly, and so are the hush puppies, the pickled tomatoes, the french fries. So let's be honest, all of their sides are fabulous. Let's watch this segment and then go visit Cosby's for a meal you will not forget. Tell Sue and Ron that we sent you.
Cosby's came about back in 1987. We decided to build a restaurant. We were going to either make it a full line or some specialty. We weren't sure. And where we lived at the time, we got acquainted with Rudolph and Enid McGehee. We just told them about our plans. And he said, you don't want a full line restaurant up there. Build a catfish restaurant. So we did. In the second week of January in 1988, my husband and I started building. Him and I and another gentleman literally built the building ourselves. We had the logs brought in from Colorado. They're 8-inch logs. They still had the bark on them. They were slabbed on 3 sides. And we started working it. And believe it or not, I know how to use a drawing knife because the bark was on the logs and I started pulling that bark off with it. My husband, he started putting the logs together, and the next thing you know, we've got Cosby's. The second Saturday we were open, that man started frying fish at 12 o'clock noon, and he didn't quit frying fish till 9 o'clock that night, constantly, which was fantastic, of course, but it sure was hard on a nobody. His particularly. This part of the restaurant was our living quarters when we first built. We thought we'd be here 3, 4, 5 years. We didn't know. 6 months later, we had to open this up. We needed the dining room space. We did not have enough room. So we moved across the road into a trailer, opened this up with dining, and away we went again. Our fish is our specialty. It's served family style. We bring you bowls of coleslaw, hush puppies, relish plates. Then we'll bring you platters of fish and fries, and we just keep bringing all of that till you want no more. We also have a motto here. We guarantee our fish that after you order it and you honestly do not like it, and the word honestly, you do not pay for it. After the 3rd platter, you're going to pay. I've never had to honor that. Our fish is a mixture of fillets and steaks. And what that basically means is some pieces of our fish have bones, some don't. But it's all very easy to eat because of the way we prepare it. In 2004, we decided to sell. The church in Liberal, Kansas wanted Ron to come and preach. He wanted back in the pulpit full time, and so we sold the restaurant so he could go back and preach full time. And then after we were there at Liberal, Kansas for about 5.5 years, we moved to Yukon, Oklahoma. And he preached there until our daughter bought the restaurant. She found out it was for sale, she bought it, and here we are again. And it hasn't slowed down a bit. Actually, I've been very amazed about how many people have welcomed us back and said, oh, I'm so glad you're open. I'm so glad you're open. And it's almost humbling because we didn't know we affected people so much. But apparently we did. And it's just been kind of I don't know how to explain it. It's been wonderful, wonderful. I got excellent help. My girls are fantastic. They work hard for me, they take care of our guests, and that's what we're going to continue doing. That's the future of Cosby's right there. All of these people that come in and eat with us, we consider a family because without them, we couldn't have Cosby's. So they are family to us. Not only do I have, during the years, we've had grandkids work for us, daughters have worked for us, my husband cooks the fish, I've even had my brother washing dishes sometimes. It is a family business, but our customers are family too. And people have been so good to us. It's been a blessing, and I can't tell you how much it has meant to us to come back. It's been wonderful.
Well, that's all for this edition of Mid-America's Living Grand on Grand Lake. I'm Christy Wallace. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.
Mid-America's Industrial Park's Living Grand on Grand Lake is made possible by
The Grand River Dam Authority and the Mid-American Industrial Park have worked together for over 50 years now to bring jobs and industry into this part of the state. There's a lot of great opportunity in the Mid-American Industrial Park, both at our facility and all the industries that are located there. High-paying tech jobs that we need, kids coming out of high school that have this computer knowledge today that we didn't have 25, 30 years ago. We can do the training right there in the park. There's a lot of good resources there in the park. They don't have to go the college path to get into the workforce and make really good money. It's really neat now to see this generational shift. We've got mom and dad out there now in a lot of cases, and now their kids are graduating from high schools in the area, and they're looking for opportunities as well. The Grand River Dam Authority is really proud to help young people start their career and help build their lives.
Also by
Grand River Dam Authority is Oklahoma's state-owned electric utility, fully funded by revenues from electric and water sales instead of taxes. GRDA electricity touches 75 of 77 counties in the state and serves as an economic development engine for all of Oklahoma. At no cost to taxpayers, GRDA also manages 70,000 surface acres of lakes, including Grand Lake, Lake Hudson, and the W.R. Hallway Reservoir. Annually, the efforts of Team GRDA facilitate over $450 million in economic activity in Oklahoma.
Plus by
I had the drive to boost my earning power.
I was driven to be more competitive in the job market.
Finishing my degree, that's what drives me.
If you left college without a degree, Reach Higher, Oklahoma's degree completion program, can change your life. You get affordable tuition, flexible class schedules with online options, and a degree from a state university.
I was driven to earn my diploma.
And I did it.
Apply today at reachhigheroklahoma.org. Let your drive drive you.
and by viewers and members like you.